All right then, welcome everyone. As we begin our program for today, we do have our standard disclaimer in place, reminding you that as we talk about the markets, you can in fact lose money in the markets, and past performance doesn't guarantee future results. But we're talking about future results as well as past results here today with our program on our Gann Power series. We're focusing in this fourth video on astrology and the power that it has in W.D. Gann trading. Of course, W.D. Gann was that remarkable trader from the first half of the 20th century. He had amazing market insights, and we'll be sharing a lot of those insights in our new program that we're launching very soon here. We are about ready to open up enrollment in our new course on Gann Plan Trading Success 102. So that's why we're sharing some of this information about Gann with you here today. In our last couple of Gann Power sessions, we looked at the importance of time and the importance of price in W.D. Gann's powerful trading approach. These were a couple of critical concepts and essential to this man's approach to the markets. Today, though, we're going to consider W.D. Gann's secret tool for bringing time and price together for truly spectacular results. He was able to create incredible results with his market forecasting and his personal trading as well. And of course, the secret tool that we're talking about here today is astrology. And astrology is quite an interesting topic. The fact of the matter is, and we have to admit this, that unfortunately not everybody feels really good about astrology. It provokes an interesting range of emotions and reactions when you mention it to people, and many people have some very strange ideas about what astrology is all about and actually feel a little bit challenged or threatened by it. So perhaps we should begin here with a few words of explanation about astrology as we mention it in the context of Gann trading here. And first of all, of course, we want to distinguish between astrology and astronomy. These two are often confused. Astronomy, of course, is the science of looking at the heavenly bodies, the planets, the stars, the galaxies, studying things. Nowadays, of course, primarily through telescopes and space telescopes and analysis of the light spectrum and so forth. That we have gotten very advanced in our astronomical studies in understanding the cosmos, how it all works, and the various factors that are at play there. Fascinating study, and very worthwhile in its own right. Astrology, however, has a more ancient basis in knowledge. There's a lot of a tradition that applies to it. Certainly it is not ignorant of the current observations from the astronomers, the guys that are looking through the telescope, guys and gals we should say, they're looking through the telescopes, and certainly we honor their contributions. But the goal of astrology is to understand the implications, especially from a symbolic level, of the impacts of the movements of the planets and the alignments of the heavenly bodies, the impacts for us here on Earth. Astronomers like to peer through the telescopes, understand what's going on out in space. Valuable study there. Astrologers like to take that information and then try to apply it to the dynamics of our human life here on Earth. We can apply it to our individual careers, our individual life struggles and opportunities, our relationships, and also, of course, to the markets as well. So some teachers of Gann and Gann trading techniques actually have the opinion that W.D. Gann only used the astronomical calculations of the planetary positions, the work of the astronomers in working with his trading analysis, but he then insists that he actually never really used real astrology. They want to credit Gann's awareness of this knowledge in a very, what we might call a secular fashion, and say that he's just looked at the astronomic phenomena. And certainly the astronomical phenomena are involved in all of of that. But because Gann came from a Protestant religious background, he was very, very religious himself, an avid student of the Bible, and very devout in his individual religious practice. He was also aware of the religious prejudice against astrology, and for a lot of folks involved, especially in more fundamentalistic religious traditions, the idea of astrology is a little bit suspect, and so Gann was aware of that, so he became very, very careful in the way that he referred to astrology in his own speaking, his own writing especially. Most of the time he would use a veiled reference to it. The most frequently he would simply use the word science to refer to what was going on astrologically at any given time. He'd say, I took a look at the science, and this is what I learned from that. He was referring to astrology, of course. And, occasionally he would get a little bit more direct. There's one wonderful statement from him, from his book, The Tunnel Through the Air. He says, I believe in the stars, I believe in astrology, and I have figured out my destiny. Of course, based on the astrological studies. The Bible makes it plain that the stars do rule. So for Gann personally, he was able not only to reconcile the use of astrology with his own religious practice, his own devotion, but also to use it in a very, very direct way in the work that he carried forth. In fact, the truth is, astrology was an integral part of his market methods. We know from his reading list, he published a reading list of recommended books, and at times, I believe, tried to market copies of the books and recommend them to his students. And there are a number of astrological titles on that book list, so we're pretty sure he studied the books himself and studied astrology along the way. And he also, especially in the later years of his professional practice, when he had a going concern providing newsletters and market forecasting services, he employed a couple of professional astrologers to help him with the astrological calculation work. And these are some pretty advanced astrologers of his day that helped out Gann along the way. So we do have this evidence that Gann used astrology very, very strongly in his own work. And that's the basis that we move forward on. However, we do want to take note here that the astrology that W.D. Gann used, and of course the astrology that we use in our own astro trading techniques today, is not what we would call the pop astrology of the current age here. We've had astrology newspaper columns in the past. Now we have lots of websites and online astrology programs available to help people figure out things. But there's a difference in what is popularly known as astrology and what we're doing with it as we apply it to the markets here with our W.D. Gann work. So this is not the astrology that's about fortune telling, not trying to figure out what's going to happen in your future kind of thing at a personal level, and it's certainly not the kind of astrology that we use in matchmaking. Is it okay if I'm a Gemini to date a Sagittarius, or can a Scorpio really get along with a Leo kind of thing? And so all that's fun entertainment, very, very useful in its own right to keep us occupied, but this is definitely not the same kind of astrology that we're applying to our market analysis here. W.D. Gann paid a lot of attention to solar eclipses, to lunar eclipses. He paid attention to the solstices, the summer solstice, the winter solstice, the spring and fall equinoxes, as well as to planetary stations, those times when the planets would change direction of motion. All of these things that we know Gann studied and used in his own analysis, and these are all astrological phenomena that do have very specific correlations with market movements and the potential for markets changing direction. So this is something with our Gann studies that we do pay a lot of attention to, and we like to coordinate this knowledge. But the astrology used in market analysis is rooted in a knowledge of the repetition and of the positions of planetary cycles. And this is very, very powerful knowledge. Again, this is not the kind of astrology that goes into the fortune telling or the dating services or things of that sort, but it's a different kind of approach, a usefulness and an application of the astrological knowledge. So planetary cycles repeat at different speeds, and that's one of the fundamental concepts we want to convey here today, an understanding that different planets move at different speeds, and because of that speed difference, we can get correlations with different kinds of time cycles. The moon, for example, completes its cycle every 28, 29 days. The Mars cycle is about 2 years. Jupiter does the same thing every 12 years. Saturn in 29.5 years, and on and on with the various planets. Each one has its own unique cyclic period. And there are clear correlations between the varying speeds of these planetary cycles and the important time factor in understanding the markets. In one of our previous videos, we emphasized the importance of this time dynamic in Gann studies. And that's the big point of correlation here between the astrological work and the study of time, is the fact that the planetary cycles take place at different speeds, at different rhythms, and so there are different time factors involved that can correlate with the markets in some very, very powerful ways. Understanding the astrological connections between time and price in the markets is what gave Gann such a powerful tool to use in market analysis and effective trade timing to get the maximum returns along the way. The most elegant and powerful presentation comes through the use of planetary price lines in technical trading charts. Now, not only are there correlations with time, but there are also correlations between the positions of the planets in their cycles and specific prices in the markets as well. So as we're able to combine the awareness of time and price through our astrological work, we end up with an extraordinarily powerful tool. And again, planetary price lines is the ultimate expression, as far as I'm concerned, of that correlation of both of these dynamics astrologically, the correlation with time and the correlation with price. So let's take a look at a trading chart and illustrate what we're talking about here. This is a trading chart, some daily price bars. The stock we're looking at here is Cimarex Energy Incorporated. We're not concerned so much with a particular stock as we are the movement of the price bars. And again, these are daily price bars over a period of 8 or 10 months, something like that, on this particular trading chart. Now, when we have a chart like this, we can look at it in the ways that we illustrated when we looked at our session on time, and specifically our one on price, as we used price to determine various support and resistance levels, look for important highs and lows in the trading process. This was one of the key approaches that W. Gann used. He also would use these planetary price lines, and in this case, what we're doing is adding lines to our chart based solely on the position of particular planets and the harmonic resonance fields of those planetary positions. For example, we can add price lines that look like this. And we draw these diagonal lines across the chart. This is a fourth harmonic projection of planetary positions with the planet Venus. So these are Venus planetary price lines. And what we're seeing here as we move from left to right across the chart, the changing positions of Venus over time. And as we also see this, these are diagonal lines. Venus moves fairly rapidly through the zodiac, and as it does so, there are shifts in price increments that occur along with this. So as we look then at this correlation of the positions of Venus with the price movements over the period of time as represented by the standard trading chart, we can begin to see some pretty incredible points of correlation here. In our session on price, we talked about price resistance and price support. We can see price support here with the Venus price lines as well. We notice that the price will drop back down to this Venus line over and over again and bounce off of that, And as we pointed out previously, the more often we find support on a specific planetary price line, the stronger that resonance becomes, the stronger that support tends to hold. And then likewise, we can add on the other side of the spectrum the resistance points. There are points when the price will hit a Venus line and not go higher than that along the way. So what we're defining here is a trading channel effect with the Venus planetary price lines, combining the support and the resistance on the trading chart. This is a very remarkable correlation here because, again, the positions of the lines were generated solely by the position of Venus, and we can see then that the price coincides to these planetary indicators as the stock moves forward with its trading. It doesn't hit every single price bar or every single price move, but it does so often enough to give us a sense of the structure of the trading dynamic, and we can say then that this stock is definitely trading in what we might call a Venus channel as defined by the Venus price lines. This is information that most traders never understand or get a look at here, so when we begin to apply these tools then, and we have the Venus price lines like this, we get a very dramatic idea of the correlations with the stock price and the movement of the stock price with the movement of the planet Venus. Now, we're not limited to that. We can add another planetary price line just for the sake of illustration here. Let's go ahead. We'll take our same chart here, and as we look at this, what we're going to do is add a new set of planetary price lines to this same chart that we're looking at. In this case, what we've done is added the planetary price lines for Jupiter. And again, this is Jupiter in the fourth harmonic as we project it onto our same trading chart, the same stock that we're looking at. We've left our Venus lines in place, and we've added the Jupiter lines. In this case, the Jupiter lines are here in blue. The Venus lines are more diagonal in green. And because Jupiter is a 12-year cycle, it moves much more slowly than Venus. And so what we see here are the price lines that are more or less horizontal in comparison to the more angular price lines of Venus. So this is an indication then of the differing speed of the two planets. The Venus lines are moving much more rapidly than the Jupiter lines, and we can describe different kinds of price intensity trading dynamics with these planetary lines in this manner. Now, just like we did with Venus, we can certainly pinpoint those areas where the Jupiter lines provide us with points of support for the price of the stock, and that's certainly something that we can look at here. We've indicated that, and we can see this at several levels of the Jupiter lines. By the way, this heavier line near the top of the diagram there, that is a first harmonic Jupiter line. It's especially strong in defining the trading range for this stock. We see that many times, and the stock is traded above and below that line, as we see over a period of time here. But as it does so, it repeatedly will drop down to the line and bounce back off of it to the upside. So we have this indication here of that Jupiter line providing significant support along the way. And of course, we can add in here the resistance lines as well, and as it turns out, that same first harmonic Jupiter line provides resistance. So it's a particularly strong indicator of a price zone that this stock likes, and we can see the coalescence of the trading, the congested trading pattern around that particular Jupiter line. Now, most other market analysts, if they're not looking at the planetary price lines, don't understand that Jupiter influence and the significance of moves above and below that along the way in terms of forecasting trading results. So what we're seeing here is remarkable in a couple of senses. First of all, these are price lines generated solely by planetary positions. They're not generated by the price of the stock itself, but we find that the price action in the trading of the stock over time complies or resonates with these planetary price lines, which is an enormously powerful indicator. So planetary price lines can give us valuable trading signals, and the fact is most other traders never see these signals or are not aware of them, and most of them don't know they even exist in the first place. So that's one of the distinct advantages that we get from using these tools that we derive from W.D. Gann's work. These planetary price lines represent the most powerful and accurate way that you can add the extraordinary benefits of astrology to your own personal trading as well. So if you want to get the best of W.D. Gann techniques for boosting your individual trading performance, make sure that you learn how to use the planetary price lines effectively, because that one tool alone can make a huge difference in the trading results that you get. Now, Gann taught that price goals in the markets cannot be reached until the relevant time cycles have reached their points of completion. There are various ways of approaching this, and we've discussed this in some of our previous videos, of looking at these correlations of time and price and trying to figure out exactly when they come together. But the fact is, by combining his knowledge of time, price, and astrology, Gann was able to forecast future market prices with amazing accuracy and reap huge rewards from his trading along the way. So he got the results from this in his own experience in the markets. Having clear, specific price and time expectations can give any trader an enormous advantage that can guarantee more rewarding results in the markets. If you know what you're looking for and when you expect to see it, it can make a huge difference. And of course, using the tools of financial astrology, especially the power of planetary price lines, can bring you that clarity and the confidence in your trading as well. The more clearly you can see what's happening with this, and finding the support and resistance with planetary price lines that other traders are not seeing at all, can then give you additional insights and some real advantages in your trading as well. So that's one of the reasons that we're ready to open up enrollment in our new course, Gann Plan Trading Success, that's coming up here very soon. And a major portion, by the way, of this brand new training program will be focusing on W.D. Gann's understanding of astrology and the essential role that astrology plays in successful trading. We're going to be covering all of that very thoroughly, and especially our new class is also going to give you comprehensive step-by-step instructions in using the planetary price lines to fine-tune your market analysis, enhance your personal timing in the markets, and of course boost your trading results along the way. So this is going to be one of the major points of focus in this new training program: how to get the planetary price lines applied properly, how to determine which ones to use in various trading situations, how to read them as market indicators, and how to translate all of that information into real results in your own individual trading. That's what we're doing as one of the key components in this brand new course. So we're going to be opening up the early bird registration for our new Grand Trading class. That's going to happen just in a couple of days from now. We'll be announcing here within the next day or two the exact timing when we'll open the doors for registration. So get ready for that. We're trying to tease that as much as possible to build a little anticipation here. But I personally am very excited that we're able to offer this new program to you because it's going to really knock your socks off in terms of all of the information it's going to provide here. And it's a huge leap forward in our Gann instruction that we're able to provide for you. But for right now, be alert for more news about this new W.D. Gann Advanced Training Program. And when you join this class for our new advanced training program, Gann Plan Trading Success 102, you can expect truly life-changing results. So also be sure to share your thoughts, your questions, observations. There should be an area here somewhere on this page to share your comments. Please do so. Any questions you have about the course, about anything we've shared with you in these videos so far, about time, about price, about astrology, anything, questions you have about Gann, they're all fair game here, so please reach out and connect in that regard. So in the final video in this series, which is coming up here real soon, that'll be the next one you'll be receiving, we're going to reveal the best way for you to get the training that you need to accelerate your path to the big benefits of adding these Gann methods to your own personal trading right now. And of course, that will be through this new training program that we're offering. We're going to share some more details with you on what that's all about and how you can get involved, because as you can probably tell, we're really enthusiastic here about getting the Gann results and sharing those with you, helping you accelerate your trading results by using some of this Gann material. So make sure you're on our notification list. You'll get an alert as soon as the video is available for viewing. And once you're on that list, you'll of course also be the first in line to get the notification when we open up the class registration. We'll let you know the instant that that door opens up, so you can be the first in line. And of course, we're doing some early bird specials and things of that sort, so it will be the best advantage in terms of tuition and so forth during that early bird phase. So if you're not already signed up, be sure you do so. Go to bit.ly/freeGannVideos. That everything is lowercase there except for the word Gann. G-A-N-N is capitalized. Everything else is lowercase in that address. It will get you there in a hurry, and so be sure to get signed up here. So thanks so much for taking time to join me today. Thanks for watching our program. This is Tim Boss of FinancialCyclesWeekly.com. Looking forward to having your participation in our new Gann program, and we're getting ready to share with you the final video in this series on Gann power, so look for a notification of that real soon. And we're going to be focusing here on how you can get started with our brand new program and Gann Plan Trading Success 102. Be talking to you real soon.